All right, guys, our next series coming to Disney Plus is one that A is quite unexpected, and B, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. Maybe negative feelings about this. They're doing a reboot of Turner and Hooch, starring Josh Peck. First of all,
Crickets.
Josh Peck is not all that charismatic to me. Um, does that mean he's going to do a poor job in the series? No, not at all. That doesn't mean anything at all. Um, I am not a fan of Josh Peck simply because I'm not familiar with his work, simply because the vast majority of his work has been Josh and Drake. Josh and Drake was a show that was not meant for my demographic, or rather my age group. I aged out of that level of storytelling before Josh and Drake came around, right? So I'm not all that familiar with his work, and I think Turner and Hooch is not a bad um, property to do a reboot. For if you're not familiar with Turner and Hooch, it's a wonderful story. It's a film with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is a police detective. It was San Francisco, I believe. Somebody correct me on that. I believe it's San Francisco. It doesn't matter. He's a police detective. This guy, this man who owns this dog, kind of a big slobbery French Mastiff, um, which is a big dog. Um, uh, the owner dies, and now the dog decides that Tom Hanks is going to be his new owner. And Tom Hanks is like, I don't do dogs. I'm a neat freak. I need everything the way that it is. I don't like dogs. I don't want them around. And so it's just kind of this. It's like a detective story of Tom Hanks developing a relationship with his dog, and it's heartwarming. It's adorable. It's kind of a fun crime story, or rather a detective story. It's Tom Hanks, his performance, his charismatic nature that makes the movie. Again, it's not a bad property to remake or to reboot, but with someone like Josh Peck, you need a really strong, fun, charismatic, natured person to headline, and I just don't see it in Josh Peck. I don't. Um,
Okay.
Dom, I know you. I'm a little older than you are. Our age range is off just a little bit. Did
Okay.
Josh and Drake hit you at the right time in your life?
I mean, well, I was in college when that show came
Okay.
out. I think I can't remember, or I don't know when that show came out. I don't know if it was like the early 2000s or the later 2000s. I can't
Well,
remember,
let's look it
but
up.
I um Josh, I saw what he looked like now. I actually have a little crush on him, but but I remember some of the films that he's done in the past. Actually, he did a movie with the guy who did Thor, um, Liam Hemsworth. Um, it was, I think it was Red Hawk or
I'm sorry.
something. It
Chris
was
Hemsworth was Thor. Liam
Chris Hemsworth.
Hemsworth is the one of the lesser of the brothers.
Okay, so Chris
You're talking
Hemsworth.
about Red Dawn.
Red Dawn, yes. So he did a movie with that, and then he did like a scary thriller movie. I forgot what it is. I think it was called ATM or something. And um, so I remember that. So I remember some of his work. Now I think the reason why they're using him for this new series is because he um, appeals to the younger generation, and you have to keep in mind it's Disney. So what are they gonna? So you need to have like he's marketable to the younger generation. So I think that's the reason why they use him. Because if you use somebody that's like, let me see, I'm trying to think. Somebody who is like,
Look, I understand you need to appeal to a younger audience. I get that.
right.
But I don't know, I don't see it. And maybe it's just
You don't
because
see
I'm
it.
not all that familiar with his work. Maybe
So you know,
he's going to blow this out of the water, but
right. I think that you should give him a chance. But I also let me ask you, what is it about him that turns you off? Like, is it his acting skills, or is it something about him that's just like, I don't see it, or like, what is it about him that's just like, no?
Um, well, I think it's a combination of both. I mean, yes, I'm not all that familiar with his acting style, but
Okay,
I'm I'm not going to tout myself as being the movie guru. Like, I don't know everything that there is to know about movies. I love film and television. I love like having these discussions and conversations. I also would consider myself to be more in the know than most people. I feel like I do my due diligence in researching topics and looking up this and looking up that. And in all of my, looking at this and that and whatever, the name Josh Peck has very rarely come across my radar. So what that tells me is that he's not. I think it's fair to say he's not an A-lister, right? He's not an
right.
A-lister. Does that mean he's a poor actor? No, not by
No,
any stretch of the imagination. Not at all. It doesn't make me excited. Having his name attached to this project, being that he doesn't have a big name in Hollywood, does nothing to get me interested in this show.
so if they use like Shannon Tatum or Tyler Posey or
Channing Tatum, yes, I would be all in. Even, like, I know Kevin Hart is like, he's in everything right now, but even like, if they
right,
did a Kevin Hart series of Turner and Hooch, I would be into that. But then again,
I'll watch it because he's
it
funny.
plays
He's
to
a
a
funny
very
guy.
different demographic, right? You're by casting Josh Peck, you are looking for a younger audience, a younger demographic, and I get that. Um, I don't know, but then again, maybe what they're going for, it isn't meant for me.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Could be.
I yeah, I mean, like I said, I think maybe you know what you should do? You should have a poll of like which actor
Ooh,
um that you think should do the
interesting.
series.
I will.
I
Yeah,
think you should do it.
I can create that. I'll put that on Twitter. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you're watching this video, if you want to hear my thoughts, head over to Twitter. Go to look me up on where's my thing at GLT Movies. I'll put up a poll later today, and we'll just kind of ask the question like, are you interested in here in Josh Peck or somebody else? We'll have all that ready. Anyway, guys, but the big question is, what do you think of the Turner and Hooch reboot? Are you looking forward to Josh Peck in the role? What do you want to see from it? I do think that it's an interesting thing that they have updated it from a police detective to an FBI agent. Just kind of ups the stakes a little bit, makes it maybe that much more interesting. But yeah, jump down to the comment section below and let me know those thoughts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Scrooge McDuck would want you to do. DuckTales, woo!